You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness. There's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty.
Thanks, Will. This is my company, so I'll put it up now. Before I get started, first, huge thank you to Mike and Kate for inviting us here today. Huge thank you to both of you for doing important things. I think this is a phenomenal event. It's very cool to be in this space and in this city. I appreciate the history and story of New Lab. That makes it even more enriching. And now I'm going to spend 5 minutes talking to you about something that is basically the opposite of innovation, the defense acquisition process. So my name is Tara Murphy-Dougherty, and I'm the CEO of Govini. Govini is a defense software company, and our mission is to accelerate the defense acquisition process and to transform acquisition into a strategic advantage for the United States. To be clear, the defense acquisition process is not the same thing as procurement. This isn't just about buying things. In DoD, acquisition is the end-to-end system of fielding and sustaining military capabilities for the warfighter. Science and technology, where you conceive of and prototype these capabilities, to production of those systems, sustainment of the systems for decades and often generations, modernization of them, and underpinning all of those stages, supply chains. Those are the things at a very macro level that comprise the defense acquisition process. When you think about that cradle-to-grave system and what DoD does when it's not fighting wars, it takes about a third of the entire Department of Defense to manage those programs. That's 1.2 million people. And to make that make sense, you have to connect the dots between the people and all the stages of the process. You realize this is not just the PEOs, the program executive offices we're talking about. It's the materiel commands, the DoD labs, the sustainment centers, the life cycle management centers. I could keep going. DoD is huge. And those 1.2 million people are reacting every day to challenges that they face, mostly because of shortfalls in manufacturing capacity in the United States, and what I would describe at this point as a cratering industrial base. And the reason they're always reacting is because the way they do their jobs is in spreadsheets. The Department of Defense manages more than $1 trillion of assets across that entire acquisition life cycle. And literally, those programs are run out of spreadsheets. The effects of that fact and that reality are evident every day. So yesterday, we all saw the headlines. The program manager of the Sentinel missile program has been relieved of duty due to billions of dollars of cost overruns. I hate to say it, but from firsthand experience, I can tell you the next generation intercontinental ballistic missile, which is 1/3 of the US nuclear triad, is running out of spreadsheets. This system is not okay even for peacetime. And so if the United States goes to war, what happens? If we take Ukraine as an example of the way that war is likely to unfold in the 2020s or 2030s, we can certainly assume it will be a protracted one, which means this whole system fails. There are so many companies that are here today that are working on innovations to help change that course. And Govini is one of them too. We built a software platform called ARC that is the only software platform that is purpose-built for the people who manage defense acquisition programs. Today, they can use software that was built for their day jobs so that instead of pulling data out of often COBOL-based government databases or calling their prime and asking for information on parts and suppliers, they can manage all of that in a system of record that is designed for the work that they do. This is unbelievable, and today more than $140 billion worth of defense programs are actively managed in ARC. For our users, their average time savings in terms of what they do every day has improved by 75%. That's the equivalent of getting 3/4 of your work week back, because instead of having to do your work in a really painful manual way, you have first-class, best-in-class American modern software that was built just for you. It's not just about efficiency either. When you're operating from a proactive position of monitoring parts, manufacturing capacity, suppliers, technology trends, and assemblies, sub-assemblies, and programs overall, you can do things like our users and customers are achieving, keeping counterfeit parts out of weapon systems, using artificial intelligence to source alternative suppliers for critical systems and parts, and using predictive analytics in order to identify the next failure or degrader that prevents or harms readiness and availability. Ultimately, this is what it comes down to. One, do we have the warfighting capabilities that we need to, most importantly, deter war, but to win and protect Americans if we have to? And secondly, can we keep them available through the maintenance, repair, manufacturing, and production and sustainment of these essential systems? I think we have an opportunity to do that today. Thank you.